Hello, everybody. Good evening, AOBE members, BISD employees, and Brownsville. Veronica Borrego here, AOBE president. And next to me, I have Miss Ida.
Hello,
Good evening.
everyone.
And then we have our special guest, Miss Tanya.
Hello, hello, hello.
How's everybody doing tonight? How are we doing, Miss Ida?
Doing good. Doing good. Hanging in here. Another busy day.
Yeah. It has been a busy day, busy week. We've been benchmarking, so it's been kind of crazy and exhausting because we're doing that for most of the day. So I'm sure our kids are super tired also. But yeah, it's been going on this week. We just came back from break and we benchmarked. So
How is that going? How is the benchmarking going with everything that's going on? The fact that we just came back from Christmas, también, and the fact that there's a pandemic going on. So, has there been any leniency with benchmarking, and what are you seeing from your students? And
there's no
curious.
leniency. They need to get it done, and if they're not there, we're going. Like I have makeups tomorrow, so I have to do makeup testing tomorrow for kids that were either absent or whatever the case may be. And the kids are tired.
Right?
Yeah, tired.
But I'm just wondering, like, because there's some kids that get very nervous and are stressed out that, it's going to be benchmarking and stuff. So are you seeing a difference with that? Are you seeing like a little of a, who cares anymore? I'm too tired. This really doesn't matter to me. Have you seen a difference with that, with the
So
students?
we do see a lot of like just clicking whatever, like they submit like right away. I kind of feel like I don't think they think it matters. We do try to remind them that it's just for us to measure progress and to see what we need to help them with, and we try to keep them, to understand. Please don't be nervous about it or whatever. But it's still kind of, testing is stressful for anybody. Any kind
Yeah.
of is stressful for anybody. So, and then for like me that I work with the little ones, like Tanya, we work with the elementary. It's kind of hard to kind of lower the level of anxiety for some of them because they just feel like, oh my God, it's a test, it's a test, it's a test, and it freaks them out. And then
Hmm.
especially you have like your third graders that this is going to be their first year taking the STAR test. And actually the fourth graders too, because they didn't take the STAR test last year because everybody was exempt, right? So we have third and fourth graders feeling some anxiety because this is their first year that they're going to be taking the STAR. We still don't know how we're going to be taking the STAR. I mean, there still really isn't anything set in stone. And so when you don't have information to provide, the lack of clarity, I guess, brings more anxiety to the kids because they don't
Yeah.
know, just like us, when we don't have answers to questions and we don't have, it brings anxiety. And so it's the same thing with the kids, they don't really know how it's going to be, neither do we. So we can't guide them as far as like what exactly it's going to look like. We can only do the best we can. And so we have two grade levels now, third and fourth, that are feeling nervous because it is going to be their first year STAR test.
Mm. Wow. And what have you been seeing, Tanya?
Yes, the same too, because we have a middle of the year test and and it's individual. So you have to have the kids individually. And then, yes, as soon as you say, I'm going to give you a test, they go like, test?
Mm-hmm.
I have to do just a review of everything we've learned so far. So I changed I don't call it a test. I just say like, we're going to do a review of the middle of the year. Because parents too. Like I have parents like, because Maggie said the other day, because she's my librarian, and she says like you have a parent conference every day because you could see the parents like peeking in through the side. So as soon as I say we're gonna do, if I say a middle of the year test, I start seeing parents going in like, "What
Mm-hmm.
do you mean a test? What is it about?" And I say like, "No, no, no. It's just we're in the middle of the year checking progress and
Mm-hmm.
see comparing to the beginning of the year." So yeah,
Hmm.
they do get anxious, even my 5, 6 year olds.
Wow. I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah, and
That
having to explain to the parents that too, because the benchmark is a STAR release test, meaning that it's a test that's grading them on information that should be taught all the way up to the end of the year. And so they're not really scoring all that high, but there's still some teaks that haven't been covered with them, and they're still being tested on them because it is a release from the state. It's a practice test from a star that was given. The one that they took this week was 2018. So it covers all the teaks that are supposed to be covered to the end of the year, but we're mid-year. So we have to explain that to the kids and the parents when they see 60s and stuff like that, that they're like, I didn't pass. No, you're doing good. Like, you're more than halfway there, and we're not halfway there yet, so you're good.
And that's something that they've been discussing, like, because I hear in my school that why give them the release test now if a lot of tics haven't been covered, they haven't practiced. That just like gives the kids anxiety, because they say, if I don't pass this, it means that I'm not going to pass the star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's been several discussions that why not test what they've learned so far only, and then maybe give them a release close to the testing date.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
we, aside from that, Ida, we also do checkpoints. So at the end of every 6 weeks, we do the checkpoints. So we have checkpoints, benchmark. So that's a lot for the kids. That's a lot of stress and pressure, but it's also a lot of days of not teaching because you're spending the days testing. So, you know.
And not only that, what frustrates me with the district, here I go, tan temprano. But what frustrates me is that they refuse to listen to the input that, you know, from our teachers, from us and things like that, because they need to realize we're not at the same, you know, level anymore. Things have changed, and we need to change with it. We're losing these students, their interests, their engagement levels are going down on a daily basis. And so we need to change with it. So what can we absolutely take off the table for them? Besides the teachers taking off of you all's plate, you know, that's the same thing. That's what I always, every conversation that I have with any of the administrators that is willing to listen, or school board members, I have to throw that in. You know, what can we take off of their plate? But the same thing goes for the students and the parents. We're losing their interest.
That went through my mind when I was lined up for the vaccine, because I was watching the board meeting. And when they started talking about like and I understand is that January's board meeting recognition month or whatever, right?
Yes.
But when I was watching that, being in the car, I said, it looks like they're in this little bubble.
Yeah.
Because everything's normal. So January is the celebration. We're going to celebrate right now. And I felt like we are living in the real world, but they're still in that little bubble from last year and previous years, even though we have a new board. I mean, that's what I thought. It looked like that. We are in the front lines. We are living in the real world with, we're worried about the testing. We're worried about being thrown in the classroom. We're worried about all those real things right now.
The real issues.
And then you look at the board meeting, and they have the same, like they were fighting, like always, because if they're passionate about someone, they fight tooth and nail. But then the celebration with the baskets and everybody saying how everything is awesome, like that, like the movie. And I said, like, they're kind of like living in this twilight zone.
It's like how you said it.
It's on Unicorn Planet. It's on Unicorn Planet.
Yeah, right? But no, how you said that they're living in a bubble. That's not the first time that I heard that since the board meeting. And, you know, it's like a whole fantasy world and things like that. And, pero sabes que, mira, we're the bubble poppers. That's what we're going to do, because we're going to continue to say how it really is. And that was the frustration at the meeting. You know, sabes que, stop delivering the half truth. You know, deliver the full story. You know, I couldn't believe the nerve of them bringing up again the how we were the first ones to get that Clorox 360 machine. Say, y que we were the first, we were a step ahead. And it's not that I'm being negative. I'm being realistic. Yes, we were the first district to bring that machine, but that machine was also down 4 to 5 months. 4 a 5 meses. that it was not working because we did not have what was needed to be able to use it. So
I wonder if we have it now. Do we have like enough?
they have it, but not all the campuses have been seeing it. Not all the campuses have been using it. So that's my thing. You know what? That's great. Report that, yes, we got the Clorox 360 machine and it was being used, but it was out of service because we couldn't get the liquid for 4 to 5 months. Report the whole truth. Okay. This transition.
Let's not be sugarcoating stuff.
Yeah. And that's my thing. And ¿sabes qué? We're going to continue to deliver that truth to the school board members. I don't waste my time with Gutierrez anymore because to me, I have seen the lack of leadership skills that he is lacking, and he just doesn't have that. He's not capable of seeing it. He doesn't want to be receptive to it. So ¿sabes qué? We're going to his bosses, which is the school board members. And this thing of we are a board of 8. No, sir, you are not a board of 8. It's a school board of 7, and they are your bosses. You have 7 bosses that you answer to, and it's those 7 school board members. So don't try to.
They had given him power.
He doesn't have a vote.
And they given him power because he has asked permission several times to make all the decisions. Yeah. And they have been giving him that power. So that's why he feels like the 8th member.
Yep. Yeah. And he really isn't because he doesn't have a vote. So he's not a board.
It's not a board of 8, and it's not going to be a board of 8. And ¿sabes qué? If he had shown his leadership skills to be something of what PSJA has or what McAllen ISD has, entonces, hey, we're talking a different ball game. They've been a step ahead. They've been proactive. I mean, we've seen PSJA 2,000 vaccines that they're getting out. Okay, that's planning ahead. That's being one step ahead of the game, not just collecting a list that is going to take 4 to 5 weeks probably to be able to get it. So, you know, if somebody has that opportunity to get that vaccine through their doctor or any of the other events, you do that. Because just because you went on that list for BISD, guys, I'm not being negative. I'm being honest with you all. I'm not sugarcoating it. Just because that list has been created, it doesn't guarantee that it's going to be soon. Trust me. They've dropped the ball way too many times where they've already proven they don't know how to be proactive. They don't know how to plan a few steps ahead, you know, and it was proven again with approving this COVID leave for the district. We all knew it was going to finish December 31st. We all knew that.
We knew that since September, since
yes.
before that.
Yes,
I saw the form, and that's what I meant to say, but like I was there and the policemen were on the side, and I lost my train of thought when I was writing it. Because that's what I meant to say. Like I went in through the agenda, and they have a paper where it says that they were gonna put it to a vote, leave the district. And it was weird because on top it said that the January 12th, and then the wording read, since the COVID leave is going to expire 12/31, I said, wait.
It doesn't match.
January 12th, and it says will expire December 31st. And I said, well, that already happened. That happened already. You're talking about doing something right now or something that expired last month. You're barely putting it on the table.
But they get paid top dollar for that, all of that, for them to be on top of all of these things. And I don't know if you all got to see where the superintendent commented saying about, oh, well, the reason we were holding off was because we wanted to see if it was going to be extended. That has nothing to do with it. You're going to wait and see on everything, or are we going to plan ahead and be prepared?
Can I say I'm going to wait and see if Schoology works for somebody before I do my training or before I do anything?
Exactly.
Do I have the can I say that?
Yeah, I guess so. If the superintendent is saying it, so I guess it works for everybody. That's just what really upsets me. But we're not going to go into all of that so early. But I don't know. Let's read some comments, and then so we can hear about how Miss Tanya handled her getting her vaccine.
Hi, Miss Castro. Thank you, Ms. De Leon.
Martita, Marty party.
Hello, Ms. De La Garza.
And I swear I wanted to look better today.
We do.
I wanted to look better, but I am feeling a little bit like tired. And I kept telling my husband, it's because I spent the night. It's because of this. And he's like, no, it's the vaccine. I mean, you're having other symptoms.
Yeah.
And I never take naps, and I took a nap earlier. So that's why.
See? No, you're still beautiful as always. You see that
growing sense of academic apathy by the students. They are losing interest. Yeah, they are, because we're not teaching, we're testing.
Yep. And it's not the same as testing face to face.
No,
it's not. And that's what we need to get across to them.
Yep. My special education students at home do not want to test because it's too much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
District benchmarks are not fair to the students and teachers.
Now, I wonder, guys, with the people who are commenting that, or you all tell me, have you all shared that with your principal to see if they share it further up? I'm just curious.
They know. It's, again, it's not them. It's not the campus level.
They're just the messengers, and some of those messengers are like, okay, we care and we listen to you, but there's nothing we can do. Some other messengers are like, are just like saying, well, too bad, so sad. Some others like care a little bit more. Some are like, okay, but it's not my fault.
Hi, Nelda.
Hi, Miss Nelda.
All they do in those meetings is pat each other in the back. Well, that's actually not, that didn't happen, Miss Salazar, on Tuesday.
They did pat
the lawyer, yes.
There was about an hour where there was not any patting.
That was so upsetting. That was so upsetting. What y'all are talking about on the discussion of the RFQs for the school board attorney. You want to read that one?
Is it legal for him to make decisions? The public voted for the members to make the final decision, not the super, asking for a friend.
That's what I'm saying. He's been requesting it, didn't he? Like in a couple of meetings, he's been requesting.
But he's been requesting since last school year.
Since the pandemic started.
And they keep giving it and giving it and giving it. So they keep giving him more power. And that's why we're in the mess that we're in right now.
Yes, I agree. I think he's going to try to take advantage of the fact that it's a brand new school board. But I think he doesn't realize that they are catching on to him a whole lot quicker than what he thought. I don't think that they're going to buy this. Oh, we are a board of 8. And did you notice how he has the deputies referring to them as a board of 8 as well? Did you catch that? Dr. Cantu said it, and Dr. Trevino mentioned something about a board of 8, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're trying to create that, like that's going to be the term now. Heck no, you're his bosses, and I will make sure to remind the board members that that's what they are. Now, some of them, yes, want to play that game with him, and that's fine, but the ones that are willing to listen, going to make sure to let them know that they have that authority over him.
Yeah. I try testing my life skills students, and the parents give them the answers even after I tell them not to. And that's true. You can see the shadow, or you can see bangs, or you can see ponytails, and you can see like all these things going on. And you see a difference in what they score as opposed to what they're doing when you're in a live lesson and you're asking them questions and they're not on mute and their camera's on. It's a very big difference. And we know it's not them.
You hear the whispering.
Yeah. And then when I say, please be reminded, this is a benchmark. You cannot be getting help from your parents. I have to read you the questions. I have to be the one. You can't be getting help from all the cameras turn off.
There you go. Take that.
That's across the district.
Whatever.
It's stories from teachers that come. Hello, beautiful ladies. Listening to you now seems like you all are the only ones that understand the craziness in our world. Just now registered for another training, forethought, in front of my computer working on tomorrow's assignment, and I feel like I'm holding up a boulder on my shoulders. Sucks. Thank you for being our voice and for all you're doing. See, and this is the thing, Miss Ida. They don't understand. This forethought is something else that's on top of Schoology training, reading academies. Now we have to do forethought, which is a new lesson planning platform. Why?
I don't know what they're thinking, and today I did speak to two school board members on the reading academies and the pressures of that, and all those crazy modules, and that you have to be scoring an 80, yeah, 80 or above for that, and that's just it's just ridiculous. And I mean, we're trying as hard as we can to get the board members to see it, and for them to realize and recognize how what is being presented is not the same thing of what is actually going on out there in the real world. So we're going to continue to deliver it to them, and we're going to continue to show them the proof, the proof that is being sent to us. We are getting that message to them. And, we it's not that, we're not being negative about it. We're just delivering your messages. That's what we're delivering.
And I understand that they had probably these plans before for like a regular year.
Exactly.
Because it seemed like everything was going to start 2020, 2021, like the forethought, the Schoology, the reading academies. Okay, it was already programmed. Maybe let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, this was a plan made the previous school year, although we did finish with the pandemic while the previous school year was going on. But now they just drop everything on us. And I was remembering, and I was reading, because I have it on my calendar, that we're going to have calibration meetings for TELPAS, and I believe they want us to do it face-to-face. They want us to go to this school face-to-face, and I was just going to address it to you today, because today I wrote it on my calendar, that now they want us to go for a calibration TELPAS face-to-face to campus.
So that basically, Ida, that is like we took like a test kind of on the computer. We have to take a test.
Okay.
And we have to be monitored because we cannot be trusted.
Okay. So you can't take the test remotely with the camera being on, like some of the universities do?
That might be an idea, but you know how they react to new ideas?
I know, very receptive. So when did they give you all that? By when? When does that have to be done?
That's barely coming out.
Barely coming up, yes. I just wrote on my calendar, like calibration and face-to-face. And I went like, what do you mean face-to-face? And that's what I was telling my son. The reason I went to camp out the whole night, because in my mind, I have February 1st, like the beginning of February, I might have to go back to school. Thank God I convinced my parents of keeping their kids home. But as we're going along, like the longer we go on distance learning, I really feel like February, like the first week of February, some of them are just gonna send their kids to school. And I told my son, I feel like I'm in a race against the clock or against the virus and against the district and against everything. I said, what can I do to protect myself and protect my students? Maybe just from me, because like, I don't know when they go home and what they do on their own time, right? And I said, well, maybe I can take the vaccine because I do have like health conditions, besides everything that's going on. I checked with the county, I called them and my condition qualified. And I said, it doesn't matter that I have to go and spend the night to get a vaccine. And I'm gonna have to go back again for the same place. It doesn't matter because by February 10th, hopefully I'll be protected. I mean, 93% protected. And that's why I did the decision of going and camping the whole night. Because
that's what we were going to ask. That why, because it's not easy. I know I was debating, as some of y'all know, I live in Hidalgo County and stuff. And there's a bruise.
I got a bruise. I still have a bruise.
And over here in Hidalgo County, they gave out 6,500 a un golpe. But it was where you have to go to get cleared and get your bracelet, and then you report back the next day. And we were going to take my mom because she's an elderly person with underlying health issues. I as well do qualify because I have underlying health issues, and that BISD gave me. But anyway, and so I was going to go do that, but we couldn't put my mom through it because you had to be in line 5 to 7 hours to get your bracelet. The next day was ridiculously cold for the valley, right? But you had to be in line to go into the arena to get the injection. I was like, there's no way that my mom's going to be able to be out there standing, or sitting in her walker still. And, so that's why I was like, oh my gosh. But when I heard that you went out there and stuff, that I was so happy that you were able to do it, because I know all the things, the different measures you've been going to stay safe and stuff. So I'm glad that you did it. Was it as difficult as you thought it was going to be?
A little bit more, because I
Really?
said, it's a night. I mean, and I told my husband, I'm taking my phone and I have this stand where I can put it there. I can spend the whole night watching Netflix. Sometimes like we go to bed, but not late, because when we're in school, like I crash by 10:30, 11 the most, right? It's not going to be hard. I'll take a blanket. I'll turn on the car. But it was crazy because you're like amongst strangers. You don't know who's behind you, who's in the car behind you, who's in the car in front of you. And then there was this lady in a van that looked like it was empty. And then cops start like knocking on the window because they thought she had left. And then she comes out through the side, and then somebody starts coming in. I mean, you think it's going to be, I'm just going to spend the night watching Netflix or what. But no, I wasn't able to sleep more than maybe 30 minutes. Oh, wow. And that was because I was very tired, and I just like dozed off for a little bit and then woke up. And then another car, they couldn't get it to start. And I want to say like by 1 o'clock. So it was like the coldest. And then they were working in the car. The fire department comes in, the PD comes in. So you see all the sirens, ambulances, everything around you. So it was harder than what I expected. Wow. Because all that was going on. And then my husband had a job interview to go to.
So he left.
So he couldn't stay there. I didn't want him to stay because I knew he was going to be like me, like just looking everywhere. So I'm there by myself with my locked doors and checking my mirrors. I had a flashlight in my hand, my phone in the other.
And was it cold? Did it feel really cold?
Yes, a lot. Because I had to put on my car like several times.
Really?
With a blanket. I didn't take my jackets off or anything. I just left with my jacket, my blanket, and everything. It was
and when they gave you the shot, did you have to get out of the vehicle?
Nothing. This was different of everything that I've heard before, because you were in the car. I got there at 12 noon. Remember, 12 noon I was there. I clocked out at 11:30 and left, and I made it by 12, and there was already like 50 cars in line. They started arriving at 11. That's what they told me. And then we stayed there the whole day, the whole night. And then you moved the line and went through the fire department, where the fire trucks are at. They did like a drive-through. And then it was very organized. I mean, I like that about the place, because it was very good. Fire department, Los Fresnos Fire Department, Los Fresnos PD, like in the health department as well. We went through the back, and then there was like stations of nurses, like 2 stations per like entrance. And the nurses were getting this car and then that car. So they would go to the car on the one side and then the car on the other side. You would park there, and then they would tell you, do you want to stay the 15 minutes or do you want to go?
Oh my goodness. They gave you the option.
15 minutes is like to monitor your reaction.
Yes, because they would like tell us to go to another parking lot that was right in the front, and you waited there with your lights on, and the paramedics were going down the lanes and like monitoring. And then when it was the 15 minutes were up, I waited like 20 minutes, a little bit more. I lowered my window and I said, I'm going to go. And they checked my time, because they stamped the time when they gave me the vaccine. And they stamped it. And then they asked me, do you feel okay? Do you feel any side effects? Are you fine to drive? And I was like, yes. And I was like, and I tell my husband, like, you get emotional. Because seeing all the people that are not wearing a mask, that they don't care, that they're going to restaurants, and then you see all these people making an effort to give you a vaccine, like it kind of moves you. Like I didn't know what to tell the nurse, and I used to say, que Dios te bendiga, y que las manos te bendigan. I was super emotional because I said, you see, this is what we're supposed to do as a community. We're supposed to take care of each other.
Right.
And they were showing us with the organization and everything that they were doing that for us, for us strangers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And Oya, did they do any did they ask you any questions before?
At first, there was this lady, or I don't know if she was a paramedic, a volunteer or something for the fire department. She was turning cars away. And then it was my turn, and I said, I have a condition, a medical condition. And she says, what is it? And she got the phone and she started reading. Is it this? Is it this? Because she had the CDC page on her phone and she was checking the conditions. And I said, and I told her my condition and she couldn't find it. And she said, like, no, I'm sorry, but your condition's not here. I go, okay, do you mind if I line up, call the Cameron County Health Department, ask them, and then if they say no, pues I'll get out of line and I leave, ¿verdad? Porque supposedly she said that they were going to be asking you before the vaccine. So while I was going to line, I called, I told them my condition. I said, I have proof I take medication, daily medication for this. And they said, like, yeah, no problem, you stay. And after that, they didn't ask me anything else. Not even like when I gave the forms, when they gave me the voucher, because they started giving the voucher at 5 a.m. At 4, they were already setting up. By 5, they were giving the vouchers. And they were very, very organized because there was one person coming to check if you have the forms. Then another person coming to see if you had filled it out correctly. And then a third person with the voucher, with a little like business card. And then at 6, they started moving the line. By 6:15, I was coming home.
Oh, wow. 6:15? That's impressive. So you didn't make the 24 hours out there.
I didn't. I made like a...
And so I know you mentioned how you feel, but that was at the beginning. So you've noticed that you are a little tired. Did you feel it?
Yes. Yesterday, my arm started like hurting a little bit. It was a little bit sore, a little bit.
Like on a scale from 1 to 10, like how much?
I want to say like a 3 or 4. But as the day progressed, I couldn't pick it up. I couldn't do this. Like yesterday, still. Like right there still hurts a little bit, like it's sore. Like, and now it's like sore, like my whole arm sore. And the bruise, and then today I felt super tired. I had to give my kids a test, and I went all the way to 3:30, and by 4 p.m. like I had to take a nap. I don't take naps. By 4 I was out, and I took an hour nap. And I told my husband, I'm super tired because I spent the night. He's like, no, it might be the vaccine.
Yeah.
You're like that because
it's probably a combination of the both, because I mean, it's hard. I mean, you stayed up, 24 hours and it's difficult. That does drain you, just like when you go out of town on a trip and things like that. But I mean, of course, I know what your answer is going to be, but you don't have any regrets that you went to do it.
I would do it again. And I told my friends, like, for events like that, I really feel for the elderly because like my mom's 72, but she lives in Mexico. Mira, chiquita. She lives in Mexico and she can't cross, right? She's a Mexican citizen and she can't cross. So, but I said, if my mom was here, she's 72, but she's fairly healthy. And I said, well, if I would have done for my mom, like I would have stayed there and maybe at 3:34 in the morning, maybe my brother would have brought her like here, but she can walk. But I feel for the elderly, like they're in wheelchairs, for the people that have like they're handicapped, because it was super hard to get to it because it was in Los Fresnos Rodeo grounds. So it's not wheelchair accessible. And I did notice a lot of people doing that. They would park on the street and they would climb on the car. They would get in the cars like at más o menos 4 a.m.
And they were letting them?
Well, because, they didn't say anything. They just like went. And I'm thinking, guessing from my heart that it was somebody with conditions or elderly that couldn't stand the whole night because, like I said, it's hard to stay there.
Yes.
And I heard a lady saying that her husband worked until like 1 or 2 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
but he was there in a van, and that he was gonna join her. And the Los Fresnos Police Department said like, it's okay, we're not gonna ask questions.
Wow.
But she kind of tried to explain to them the situation, right? And my husband has all these medical conditions, but he's at work right now. He's gonna get out until like 2 in the morning, and because like the one giving the vouchers went through at 5. So
Wow.
hope they
And how-
did have enough.
How many did they give out?
2,300 that day.
Oh, wow.
2,300.
Oh my gosh. I think that is a really good way to do it. How they did with the vehicles. It makes it a whole lot easier, especially with how the weather has been this week. You know, plus for the elderly, it makes it, you know, a tad bit easier, you know, to be able to drive through in that manner. So I think that was really good. So I'm glad that everything worked out. And even though it was a little rough, and okay, so what about for the second injection? How does that work for you?
They gave me a little card, and then in the back they wrote the date. I go back on February 10th, and they did tell me that it was at the same place.
Oh, okay.
Now I was going through the comments, and there was this person that wrote that she got there at 12 midnight. She still got a voucher, and she got out of there by 10 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So people were
impressive.
still getting there at midnight.
Wow.
And they still got the vaccine.
I should have headed out.
Are you guys
to get
seeing
it.
me buffering? Do you see me buffering?
Little bit.
Just a little, not a whole lot.
Not
I keep
a lot.
seeing it turn black.
Oh, really? No, I haven't seen it turn black.
No?
No.
Oscar the Grouch, department meetings, faculty meetings, grade level meetings, data meetings, arts, data wall, benchmarks, TELPUS, lesson plans, grades, positive COVID cases on campus, and surviving a pandemic. We don't do anything. We're lazy.
Wow, that is crazy. That's a lot of stuff. And I'm taking pictures of all that.
Crystal Isaki Martinez, it does get you very tired. I guess you're talking about the shot.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, our teachers didn't pass around answers for Schoology modules. Just saying, Miss Paz.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What she's talking about is that it was Eddie Garcia. Yeah, the board president that mentioned at the board meeting how teachers were passing around the answers.
For Schoology.
Yeah, for the Schoology modules.
Hi, Micaela.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Virginia. Semester exams are full release STAR exams when only 50% of the content has been taught.
Wow, that's very true.
Very true. Good evening, ladies. Hi, Ms. Barbosa.
Good evening.
Valdez. Good evening, ladies. Good evening, ladies. Me too. Hi, Miss Me Too.
Hello.
Hold on, I lost my place. I hate when I scroll and then it just takes me all the way to the bottom. All right, here we go. I'm losing more and more of my students every day, Oscar. Yep.
That is so sad.
Have the members noticed the changes on the District of Innovation tab on the BISD website, Miss Nelda?
No. Give me a little bit more information on that, Nelda.
Mary Salazar Lozano. Hi, ladies. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Mary.
PD Schoology, PD forethought testing. Grades due next week. Admin should all speak up to their area admins and the super speak up for their campuses. They actually do, but it's to say it falls on deaf ears. I mean, we're gonna keep fighting. It's not gonna stop, but it just kind of. I thought they had to get board approval. Was that done? Just wondering. Same friend. No. We're gonna have to look at that, Miss Ida.
Yes.
With the benchmark being online, do you think TEA will allow the STAR test to be taken online as well? Juan Carlos Vega.
I doubt it.
I don't think so
I
either.
doubt it. The money making is in the test packets and all of that. It's sad, but if they move that completely online, they lose
Students
that
that
one.
are not on campus are not required to take STAR.
I heard that. I heard that
That
only the ones that were face to face.
that is correct.
From
I wouldn't
From
send
what
my child.
Yeah, from what I understand, the STAR test has to be taken on campus, but as a parent, you can decide to not send your child. That's what I understand.
Absolutely. And you know what some districts are doing is they're being, here's a thought, they're being honest with their parents. They're telling them how it really is, the risk that it is of sending them in. So in a way, encouraging them to keep the students at home. And that's okay. I don't know why Gutierrez has it in his mind that if you send them, just because they're there, it's going to turn everything around. And this failure rate that we're seeing and all of that, oh, it's going to change. No, it's not. We're in a pandemic. The children are going through so much at the home environment, at school. All of this is overwhelming for them. So he needs to wake up and get out of his little bubble as well, because I think he has a little bubble también around the little head.
a bigger ball.
And if you really think about it, and teachers on here, please post. If you really think about it, if you bring students back, their grades might go down
I think so.
they don't have mom and dad doing the work for them at home.
Well, and then they had this report at the beginning of the meeting on the 12th that they were reporting all the students that were failing.
Mm-hmm.
We were just asked for a log that we have to keep where it shows the amount of times we have been trying to contact parents and students that are not logging in every day, right? And I just wonder, out of let's say if there's 50 students in first grade failing, out of those 50, how many are not connecting? How many of those students are not doing the work? How many of those students have the teacher tried to contact and tell them, come in? Because like me, I'm telling you that I'm giving the MOY test right now. I tested my 12 that are loyal, that every day they either connect, they contact me, they do the work. Because we got to two separate online platforms. We use Happy Numbers and we use Seesaw for activities. And then I give him one or two assignments on Class Dojo. So I have 12 that every day they're connecting, they're doing the work. Those 12 are showing that they're advancing, that they're learning, they're showing improvement. I have 9 that I have to be calling, and for a lot of situations, once you hear the parents what they're going through, you go and I'm here worrying that they're not logging in for Seesaw. No,
Exactly.
hombre, man, forget it. Digo yo, when can you do it? I can accommodate you, because you hear those cases. I mean, yes, they don't connect, but also treat it like individual cases. A lot of people are going through a lot.
Exactly. And that's where I think that our top administrators, the superintendent and the deputies are not connected well with our area, with the population in Brownsville. Okay. They come from another area, and yes, it's still the valley, but still it's a whole different population that you're dealing with in Brownsville. And they don't realize what these families are going through. Y tercos, they want to do this and continue to put every single test possibly thrown at them, change platforms on them, all these different things. We need to accommodate the parents and the students and the teachers as much as possible during this difficult time. And I mean, they don't realize it. They don't know. Like I had mentioned before, what's on their mind is, oh my gosh, my dad lost his job. Oh my gosh, they disconnected our light 2 days ago. Things like that. That's what's on their mind. Not what am I going to do on this test? Am I going to pass it or not?
Or
Losing
oh my
family
God,
Losing
my
family.
aunt has COVID and is in the hospital.
Yes,
Or, oh my God, my aunt had a stroke. Or oh my God, my grandmother passed away. Or oh my God.
And we lost
I mean,
the first financial person in the family, the provider in the family. like
Yep.
we just lost the person, and it's like they're going through that. That's real stuff going on right now.
Yeah. Y estos, Dr. Gutierrez just wants to shine. He wants everybody to take the test and all of this, and everybody get into the campuses, because that's going to solve all the problems. No, it's not. He needs to really wake up and realize how it really is out there for them. I mean, death is hard on everybody, and to be seeing so many people passing around us, it makes a big difference to them. And can you imagine as a child? I mean, you think back as a child, maybe you dealt with a family death, once or twice, and now it's a whole lot more often. So that is making a big impact on these students. But for them, I mean, they still want to concentrate on that, on the same old.
Regular requirements. Like adding a little bit more on top of it because it's gonna make us better, but it's not a regular year.
Right. No, it's not.
I
Only
agree.
the ones that are coming in person will take it. Yeah. Don't forget, TELPUS is also in the next week's more testing. Ugh.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking as a concerned parent, I'm glad you recognize that benchmarks and or checkpoint exams will score lower than expected due to some TEKS not having been taught yet. However, how fair is it for teachers to use these exam scores for gradebook grades as a test grade, bringing down averages? Any feedback? So the checkpoints are not TEKS that are covered, The checkpoints are at the end of the 6 weeks, and it's pretty much kind of like a 6 weeks exam. So all those TEKS have in fact been covered. So they're assessing something that has already been taught. The benchmarks, which is very different, the benchmark is an actual release STAR test, and that benchmark is from what should be taught from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. So as far as maybe a checkpoint being used as a grade, I'm all for that, because that's something you've already covered, and it's assessing a 6 weeks period of stuff that you have already covered. You've already given daily grades and test grades on. So giving them another test grade on top of the test grades already given, I think is fine for the checkpoint. For the benchmark, I personally would not, because not all of the TEKS have been covered. That's my opinion. You, Miss Tanya?
I've heard in my school teachers, in regular years, because like right now with everything going on, that what they would do is check the TEKS that were tested in the benchmark, and then they would just take those as a grade.
Oh,
like just going over the whole benchmark and say, okay, this TEK I already taught it. This I did it, so I'm gonna take it out. So they will go over.
You're pulling out just questions from the benchmark, like say 15 out of 30, and grading those 15.
I heard that some of them were doing that if they were gonna use it for a grade for the report.
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, it's like something like a building stamina for the test.
Yes.
The test is worded like how the like in math, how the word problems look like, that you have to do 2-3 steps. Because I used to teach third grade. That is not just read and just gonna do one addition. Sometimes you have to do addition and then subtraction. Sometimes it's just like recognizing what the important information is. It's just to build stamina and just to get used to what the test looks like. But as far as grade, I don't think it's fair if they're using the benchmark straight as a test right now. Maybe at the end.
But the teachers do have that flexibility to be able to do that? They allow each teacher that flexibility?
I don't think they make us take the benchmark as a test. I don't think.
Not as a test grade, no. But they're do like as grade levels, they can decide if they're going to use a checkpoint as a daily grade or as a test grade. They have that autonomy as a grade level to decide. But if one teacher does it, it has to be
for the entire grade level. Okay.
And
what about
daily grade? They all do it as a daily grade. If one does it as a test grade, it's a test grade.
Okay. So what about the checkpoints? Is there a situation where at one campus where you could possibly be given a checkpoint test without having covered that yet? No.
Not a checkpoint.
No? Okay.
Not a checkpoint.
Unless sometimes you get behind like a lesson.
Okay.
But it will be like a question.
By
the time you get to the checkpoint, you're supposed to cover the whole TEKS for that That
For
6
that.
weeks or that 2 weeks. Yeah.
I was just wondering because of the comment that parent made that, I was wondering maybe their situation was different where it had not been covered when they gave the checkpoint. But
Mm.
if the teacher is doing it correctly and you give that checkpoint, then that lesson should have already been covered.
Correct.
Okay. Alrighty.
Are all campuses asking teachers to start submitting lessons through Forethought for the 6 weeks? It's too much too soon. Give us a break. Violet.
So they're all being required to do the lesson plans through Forethought? Is that correct?
It
Whatever.
varies. I don't know, campuses. No?
What have they told you all? You guys.
Let me see.
I haven't gotten a link for it. I already did the Schoology training. I've been messing with Schoology, trying to figure it out. I don't know how to use it because I don't know what it looks like on their end. But I haven't been able to find Forethought on there. I thought it was a part of that, but I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if that's something separate that we have to log into.
Now, why is it that they're switching this platform as well at this time? Besides that they're crazy.
I don't know. They're sending me a message that some campuses are requiring. There's email saying that they're requiring to use Forethought for the 6 weeks.
For the 6 weeks?
Well, starting February 19th to do your lesson plans for the 6 weeks on Forethought already.
So by February 19th, they have to use Forethought. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another training now on top of the Reading Academy and everything else, Ida, that we have to have.
That is crazy.
So not just like it's the training of a program that you already have to use. It's not like get used to it and finish the training, and then we're gonna have like something like a tryout phase. No, yeah, use it.
That's it. And what were y'all using before Forethought?
Regular lesson plans. We would do a template. We would do my lessons plans for the 6 weeks, and I would email it to my dean.
Okay.
And I don't understand about lesson plans, Ida, because like I was part of the curriculum writing for kinder in the summer. And oh my gosh, we had I had another 4 teachers that were wonderful teachers. And we did the frameworks. We used the TEKS. We used I actually have my TE here under my desk. We did homework for the whole year. We did lessons with reading books for the whole year. We did lessons for fluency passages. So it was super complete. We worked a lot on it. And by itself, the frameworks that we did for kinder, because I'm a kinder teacher, if I get those frameworks, I'm able to teach efficiently. I don't need to do another document, but we still are asked to do lesson plans.
And it has to match. It has to match
the frameworks.
The framework,
which is they're already there.
So what you do is you just copy what's on the freaking framework.
And we've tried. We fought for so long.
Watch your language, please.
I said,
why we've tried so many years to say, why do we have to rewrite something that's already written? We got paid for it because we did 30 hours and we did all the work. The teachers from other schools, we got together, you get together, and you get paid through the curriculum department. And it was super complete. Like if you see the lesson plans, even if you were, because we saw it as from a point of view of a new teacher, an incoming teacher, and say, if I see these frameworks, am I going to be able to teach? And yes, the answer was yes, because it has everything there. We even added links for the TELPAS practices.
Yep.
So
elevation is on there also. Elevation link is on there also.
Elevation. We did the even TELPAS writing. For the writing, we did topics for the TELPAS writing per 6 weeks. So everything is there. Like I don't understand why we have to get all that and do another document just to submit it. That's what Forethough's gonna do. That's what I'm thinking. That they're still gonna require us to go there on the frameworks and then put it on Forethought just to be using that platform.
But the thing is, it's good. I think like the mentality that they have is like, oh, we're just making it easier for the teachers. But it's a whole different platform that right now you have absolutely no extra time to try to, get familiar with. But you also have to get your certification and pass modules for Forethought as well. Is that correct?
I haven't started it, so I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to go there, and you have to go through also like a training for Forethought.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I'm gonna share this information on that. Okay. That is another crazy idea from BISD, but okay.
Add to the list. Beatriz Espinosa, did the COVID leave extension for this semester get approved by board members? Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. The only thing we do not like is that it is just a continuation from the first semester. We are hoping to push to see that it will be an additional 10 days because unfortunately there has been a lot of people that have been getting ill and they're going through those 10 days really quick. It's not like you can fake that you had COVID. You have to submit actual documentation that there was, reason to being out due to COVID. So we're hoping to push on that, even though they did approve the resolution that way to continue it for the second semester, that it can still be amended. So we're hoping to be able to bring about that change.
So I have a question in reference to that, Ida, because there was people who were not with symptoms, who had been testing negative, who were being forced to take the leave because the district was getting funding. So now if they do actually get COVID this second semester, they're not going to be able to use those days because they already used it.
That is an excellent question. You have to see what it is, how your days got coded. Okay. And that is why we have asked for them to give us the clarification on qualifications for the incubation period, for the, if you got COVID at work, if you got exposed at work, or whatever the case might be. So if you had to be out, you have those 3 days that don't go into your 10-day COVID leave. So we need to make sure. I've heard that some of them got coded as COVID leave instead of the 3 days of incubation.
And then so those 3 days, they don't go into the COVID leave, but do they come out of your personal days?
No, they do not.
Okay.
They do not. So that is very important to be monitoring that because we don't know what's ahead. You do want to clear that up right now. And because of that, you want to make sure and try to hold on to your days, guys. Don't use those 10 days just because they're there. Hold on to them because, God willing, things do get better, but we don't know if they are. And
according to the district, you're only allowed to get COVID once.
According to the district, yes. If you get it twice, I don't know. There must be something wrong, which, it is highly unlikely, but it can happen. It can happen
in my school. It happened in my school. I knew someone that had already previously, like in the summer. And then it happened in another school that a parent said that the teacher had gone out like twice. I mean, it is rare, but it happens.
And we also want the clarification on how do you qualify for the 10-day COVID leave? How do you qualify if your children are going to BISD and they have to be home? We want there to be guidelines for you to be able to work remotely. If your children have to be sent home or because there was a breakout or they were exposed at their campus, all these different things, that's what the superintendent unfortunately does not think about. There's so many different scenarios that can be taking place out there, but because he's not, first of all, in the classroom, and he's not, well, I do not know if he's got small children or not, but more than likely, I don't think he's responsible for those children. We have a lot of single parents, or we have parents that, have to be taking care of them. They don't have anybody else to leave them with. So with those situations, we got to try to work with our employees at this time. This is not something that they're making up. There has to be documentation attached in order to prove that yes, your child was exposed, they were sent home, they came out positive, and things like that. That's what is so frustrating of trying to get through to Dr. Gutierrez about that. But like I said, we will continue to try to do
I have
that.
a question. I have a question. How do you know how was your leave coded? Who do you call? Do you call Human Resources?
It's on your check stub. You apparently where you log on, there's I don't know what the name of the system is, but if you log on, it tells you how your days are coded.
Ah, okay, okay.
The name of the system where you log on to get your check stub.
Your check stub. Okay. So it should say there so that we can see. Okay, let's say that I got sick, I don't know, last month or this month, and I don't have my check, and I call Human Resources and say like, okay, how was it coded? Or do I have to wait for my check stub?
You can the employee online. On the employee online, you can access that. The only issue with that is that in the evenings, very often, more often than not, it's down. Like they're updating or something, and so you can't access it at night. It's I very rarely have I been able to access it at night.
Okay, okay.
It gives me an error.
But you should be able to go back and look at the like last month.
Well, you can go like I can go back years.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I've seen it. Just in case, I mean, somebody has a question of, okay, I did this in 3 days. I don't know how it was coded. Let me go back and check.
Yeah.
So they could check the check stub. Okay.
So then I have another question, Ms. Ida. Is this retroactive? So if we have people who have had to take days, for instance, when we came back from Christmas, they have to do, what are the steps for them to get those days back?
We have a few members that fall into that situation. There was a lot of positives after the holidays, and they couldn't come back. They were not cleared. I did get a few phone calls from some of the members that HR had already called them to let them know that they were not going to get docked. So I was very happy to hear that. So it was retroactive from the first day of coming back after the Christmas break. What was very upsetting, and which is one of the things I spoke on at the school board meeting, is that the district shouldn't have waited to that point. The district should have released this plan before the holiday break. Doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter if they were waiting to see if the CARES Act got extended or not. You got to prepare. You got to be proactive.
And then maybe put a disclaimer there, right? If the government would release a plan, then this like go like to the side, or it'll be there just in case we need it later. The
Absolutely.
Plan is, right? Like
absolutely.
That would sound even better. That would sound even better if they had voted on it November, December, looking ahead, saying, but if the government renews it in January,
we follow those guidelines. We follow the government.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this man, I mean, he thinks that, we're going to fall for any story that he gives out or whatever. This isn't our first rodeo. We're not new to this. I mean, he's going to have to try a little bit better.
The only thing that I liked is that he did listen to what we were saying.
Oh, because he responded.
Yes, because some other times, and I think a friend told me, because one time that I was speaking to the board, somebody else was speaking, but I was still on the screen. I was like, because I wanted to say, can you please pay attention to what they're saying? Because they were talking among themselves.
Oh, yeah, they do that at times.
And I said, I wonder if they even listen to us. Maybe they just see us and say, "Ay, estas viejas locas."
Yeah, I do see that sometimes that they do. But I do know when I do talk to some of the board members that, I'll kind of refer back to what we spoke about or what one of our members spoke about. And some of them do catch it. Some of them do not. And that's really sad on their part, because we're delivering a message on behalf of the employees. So it's not our stuff that we're making up. And
I did notice a bit of change on the superintendent. I don't know if he's planning something. Maybe my paranoia too. But he was a little bit nicer than ever before, because like when we log in and he's like, okay, you can speak or whatever, he was like, we can hear you, Miss Carrion. Yes, Miss Carrion. And I was like, okay, wait, who was that? And I could hear his voice. And then he referred back to what we were saying. So he paid attention to what we were saying. So 3 or 4 things that he did in the meeting, I said, I don't know if he wants us to see that he's trying to change, or he's trying to, I don't know the motives, because you never know now.
I do. I will give credit where credit is due. But one, le falta mucho. And two, it's a little too late. It's getting too late. And, I'm not saying he cannot change. He has the ability, the power to be able to change some of these things, these bad calls that he's doing. I really think he has the ability to be able to move this platform of Schoology back to the Google Classroom before we really frustrate the heck out of the parents and the students, to make it a little bit easier. He has that ability to do these things, okay? He just needs to stop being so stubborn and prideful. He needs to start listening to the employees, to us, what we're bringing to him. It's not my concerns. It's not Veronica's concerns. It's not Tanya's concerns. It's what people are bringing to us. So there's no possible way that we could be making this up on our own just to give him a hard time. You know what? I have a lot better things to be doing than that. But he needs to put all of that aside, his pride and that ego, and realize that we're on the same team. We're trying to create a safer but better environment for all of the employees. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. We're not trying just to talk, okay. I don't like the sound of my own voice having to go over and over on the same thing, repeating the same stuff. No, it's just so he can get it, because maybe some people, you just need to repeat it a little bit more than others. I don't know, but hopefully it'll get through. But yes, I did notice that there was a little bit.
There were 2 other comments that he said, please don't send them in January because it's really dangerous that we're coming from the holidays. And another one that said, I think it was Drew Brown that asked him about Schoology. So we're going to make him do it. And somebody said, it's just another platform that they can use. And I was like, we weren't told that. We said that.
Exactly.
They said we have to use it.
Exactly.
And he was just playing it down like, no, hombre, it's just another platform, like kind of to help them.
Yeah. And I did share that with the board, the 2 board members today about this thing. They made it sound like it was going to help just to enhance what you all are using. And, it's in addition to, and I cleared that up really quick, that no, there was some of the add-ons or additional things that were accessible in Google's Classroom that Mr. Vega spoke about that are not available anymore, which are the breakout rooms.
Yeah, if you didn't pay for them, they're not available.
Yeah, so that's our thing. Deliver the whole picture of the entire process. Okay, don't make it sound like Schoology is, it is just another thing just to make their lives better. No, you guys, they have to use it for, what is it, attendance and grading that you have to use Schoology for. Those are the 2 things that you must.
In order to use it for grading, you have to upload the assignment on there. So you can't give a grade on something that's not uploaded there. So you have to upload the assignment. And then I have an issue with that because my kids are used to using Seesaw. It's easy for the little ones. I don't know how they're going to do it, because when Seesaw, I was kind of locked out of Seesaw for a while. My kids couldn't access Google Classroom. They couldn't download the apps they needed to complete the assignments. Like they were having so much trouble until I finally got back into Seesaw. Well, now I don't know how I'm going to do it because Seesaw is not an option on Schoology.
Yeah, exactly. So in order, and just to clarify, right, to upload the assignment, it means that the student has to do the assignment through Schoology, correct? Okay. Wow. And that's so different from how they presented it.
Because I have to grade it on Schoology for it to get a grade, and then for the grade to be applied to the grade book.
Wow. I mean, for a while I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, do we have it wrong on this? Because it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I did notice that he was doing that, because the comment about don't send your kids in January and Schoology was like back to back. And I said, what's going on here? Wait.
Yeah.
He gave me the chills, and I said, like, what's going on?
Yeah, I know. I got your text on that. But I'm like, whatever. I mean, he still has the power to change things, but I just don't know if he's capable of doing it. I don't know. But do you want to go on reading the comments? I'm sorry.
It's Eva. My arm did not bruise up, but I did get reddish marks on the site of the injection after the soreness went away.
Oh, wow.
Any word or information about BISD's employees receiving the vaccine, Oscar?
Not yet. That's why if you can sign up anywhere else, Oscar, I would do it. I wouldn't wait on BISD putting out the vaccine, because we're looking at anywhere from 3 to 7 weeks or so. So I would do it. And hey, if BISD comes through, that's great. But I think you have to have a lot of things in place before they consider your district as a site. And like
he said, you have to apply, and they were barely looking into it.
Yeah. So it's not going to be anytime soon, guys. I mean, PSJA today, PSJA schools gave 1,000 out today, and they're doing 1,000 tomorrow. La Jolla School District also, I don't know how many they gave out, but they started doing that today.
And they were using their high school for them to park. Oh, that was another scenario that they had. Like, cars got there, they told them to go home. They left the cars in there, and PSJA, I think they did that. And the school district police department was like going around, and then they gave them the voucher, so they went home. And then in the morning, they were gonna come back and go in the car.
She's actually she's watching. She's actually watching you.
Yes, she is.
So cute. She's like, oh, Mom, another meeting.
Mira, she's watching us now.
She's like, are you done yet? I want to go lay down.
Yeah. I know, right? Okay, go on.
Benchmark results are not valid. Students shared answers via social media. I didn't even think about that, but that's true.
That is so true.
I had no symptoms at all, thank God. Oh, you're blessed.
Yes.
Good.
My husband had some symptoms, sleepiness and sore arm. Oh, same symptoms, sleepiness and sore. Maribel. Those are good. Those are minimal.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. I did take a Tylenol yesterday just because like I felt like very like awkward, like strange.
Yeah.
If and when BISD employees are given access to the vaccine, since many people are feeling lethargic, they need to consider it to be given over a period of time or have them take a mandatory day off. Ay, bad hombre.
That would be
our district. Do you work for our district?
I did take half a day the day I went to spend the night, and then just half a day the next day because of the same thing that I don't want to lose any of my kids, and they're so used to logging in every day. So I logged in the morning, and then I left at 11:30, then spend the night, and the next day I was in by 12 because I have a live class at 12.
Wow.
And I did the class. That's why I took the Tylenol because I started to feel like I was sore. But that's the thing, that is because like they're logging in every day, so I don't want to lose any of them. I don't want the parents to say, well, the teacher's missing, and
she doesn't care.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not going to log in. So I didn't even mention anything to the parents until today because one parent kept asking me, are we going to log in the afternoon the first day? And I said, no, I had a doctor's appointment. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you not sick? Because, I mean, you hear I'm going to the doctor's or I have an appointment for something medical, you right away think, is she getting sick or is she got sick? Yes. So I just said, like, I had to go to the doctor. I got a shot. I explained to my kids. And that was it. But I did log in. I did feel like that. Today was a long day because I had to test. I had the MOI the middle of the year. But right away after logged off, I fell asleep.
Wow. I'll take that anytime.
We're already tired. On top of the fact that she got the shot, I think that just makes you even more,
Yeah.
I am blessed. I have a voucher for tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock after 4 hours. Oh, you are blessed. Congratulations.
Good for you, Virginia.
Yes.
Are there consequences for not sending our kids for the STAR testing on campus? From what I understand, there are not.
Nope. Don't send them. I'm sorry, I wouldn't.
3 yards for life skills this month. Forethought. Schoology training tomorrow. Schoology training tomorrow for CPI. TELPUS training on the 20th. Bilingual mandatory conference next Friday and Saturday. SPED progress reports. Regular progress reports. Parent community log. Communication logs. I'm sure is what that means. For last semester and lesson plans.
Wow. I am going to share this with some of the board members.
Welcome back, Sudi. That's your welcome back.
Right.
Apparently we can't live in a bowl. We can't.
No.
It's not allowed for us.
I'm not going to share the names with them, but still.
You know what? Sudi did not include the Reading Academy.
Oh, yes, which we will briefly go into.
She did not include the Reading Academy, which I believe she's doing as well.
I just found the forethought because I wrote it down, and we had to complete like one training online, but then we have to go to another training for forethought. And I think it's an online training that we have to sign up for, and it was closed already. It had reached capacity.
Okay.
Because they want us to sign up right away because they are asking some schools to start doing the lesson plans there by the next 6 weeks.
Okay. So then it's a total of 2 trainings for forethought. Is that correct?
Yeah, one that it's online on your own, another one that it's a live training.
Okay. I'm writing things down. I don't want y'all to think I'm falling asleep when you see my eyes.
I have my phone here, so they send me messages.
Teachers are so completely overwhelmed. Can you imagine how the students feel? Amen.
That's our point.
I went through that today because we have like a lot of the internet was failing. It was kicking students out, and it looked like if I was kicking them out. So one of my little girls came back, and then she went out again. And then when she came back again, she went like, "Teacher, you're kicking me out. You're taking me out." And I was like, "No, it's not me, Mama." Because it took me out one time, completely out, and I had to go in. The good thing is that since it happened when I was in school, and I was so upset because here at home, this is the first time it happens that my internet is failing, but because my cable was not connected. But in school, it kept doing the same thing. So I told them, even if I leave, don't leave. I'll come back. And I would tell them, even if I leave, again. So today, when that started happening, it kicked me out too. By the 3rd time she came back, she was crying. She was frustrated. She was like, "But this iPad keeps like the internet and I lose you and I can't see you." And she was crying. And I said, "You know what? We're going to stop everything here. Let's breathe in." And we stood up and we moved and we stretched, and she was better after that. But I understand. And they do feel frustrated.
I had one day when I like right after we had just come back from Christmas, and my computer froze. Like I could hear my kids, they could hear me, but my computer froze. I couldn't upload. I couldn't open my Jamboard that I had for them. I couldn't do anything. So I get my cell phone and I log into Google Classroom so I can get onto the video and tell them, "Guys, my computer's frozen. Hold on real quick. Just be patient with me." Like, so I have my phone like this. I have my camera on like this, and I'm talking to them, and I'm trying to figure this out. My assistant principal walks in, and I'm like, "Sir, my computer's frozen. I'm trying to talk to the kids through my phone." So he was like, "I'm going crazy." Yeah, like we try to figure it out, you know, like it's crazy. But the kids too were like all over the screen looking to see which one they were supposed to be looking at, because I was sharing a screen, I was on the screen frozen, and then I was on my phone.
Wow. Oh my God.
I have the iPad, the laptop, a monitor, and my phone. I have 4 screens. And I log in on 2 different devices, just in case one fails, the other one's on, or if this fails, I have the other one, and my backup is my phone.
Yep.
So I have one stand for the phone, one stand for the iPad, a monitor, and the laptop.
Oh my gosh. So that's very
I didn't have my iPad with me. I had left my iPad in another classroom, so I didn't have my iPad. So I just grabbed my phone. It was the closest thing, and I was like logging in on my cell phone, trying to get into the class. So because I didn't want them to leave, so I'm like, "Guys, I can still hear you." I didn't know if they could hear me, so I was like, "I can still hear you guys. Don't log off. Hold on, let me."
You should seal the cables under my desk because I have my modem here, and I have my printer, the monitors, the iPad, the chargers, everything going on. And that's what they don't understand, because today they told me that one of my little girls wanted to go back to school out of my 21. And I said, okay, I need to talk to parents and speak to them and say, are you going to bring her every day? Are you committing to it? Because I told the secretary, I have to move my life to school now. Because if you could only see all the preparation, because I did leave a small station over there prepared just in case in an emergency we have to go back. I have another camera over there connected to a CPU. So I have a small station, but I will have to take the iPad and probably like this monitor. Because like you said, if everything fails, then you have a backup. So I have a backup of the backup. Porque they get frustrated. The little kids get frustrated.
Yes.
And the thing is, when you're at school, if your internet's going down on your computer, more than likely the Wi-Fi is going down. So really and truly, this is your only
the phone, your online, with your own
because it's lagging and it's whatever. So because mine was my actual desktop, which is connected to the wall, which is supposed to have the best service or whatever speed, and it was like, yeah, and it's not an old computer, it's a pretty new computer. And I was like, guys, don't log off, guys. And then I'm like on my phone, and I mean, I
try not to use the wireless at school. I connect to the wall on my laptop and the CPU, because that's a little bit like secure.
It's supposed to be the better connection. I have to say, my gosh, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, man, I thank you guys for your commitment and your patience, during all of this. It's been very difficult. The district doesn't help at all with that, helping this frustration level that y'all are feeling. I mean, I've had meetings where I lose connection and it's very difficult. In fact, Vero, you were on one of the meetings where I kept freezing, and I had to dial in with my phone just to hear the sound over here and be seeing the documents on the screen over here. And oh my gosh, I was so frustrated. So I don't know how you guys do it, but oh my gosh, God bless you all for your patience, and that the fact that you are still hanging in there. And please, I really hope you all really understand that we are trying to get them to see what it is that you guys are going through. You all, I mean, they don't realize all these little different things, the different measures you all go to try to keep the kids engaged, to try to stay connected with them and the parents. And it's just so sad to see where they don't pay attention to those things. But man, God bless each and every one of y'all. And please continue to hang in there, guys. We're going to get through this. We're going to.
And we're going to get through it together. Reading modules, reading readiness modules. Some students sign up and do not show up at all. I had 15 students and only 2 have shown up when they want to go, but I have to be there for them. See, so this is another thing, Ida. We have students that sign up that they're going to be showing up on campus. So teachers have to be on campus because they signed up that they're going to be there, and then the parents aren't sending them, and the teacher has to go because, well, where they show up.
Yeah.
So
and that's where
the district has to have some kind of requirement, like, okay, if you don't show up for 3 days, then for that's 6 weeks, you're back home, period.
And that's and just to give an update, that's one of the things that we're fighting for on our class action grievance, where we're fighting for exactly that. It's not right for a teacher to be showing up for 2 students. Okay, they need to create smaller face-to-face classrooms, and so that teacher can concentrate solely on face-to-face instruction, okay? Because that is a different method of instruction than your virtual instruction. So they need to start forming the smaller face-to-face classrooms, so there's not every single teacher showing up for 2 students. That just does not make sense, because it's not so much that, oh, we don't want that teacher to have to show up, but that teacher's having to deliver 2 methods of instruction, and it's not effective instruction. So that is going to be in the class action grievance, where they will separate that, because you're splitting these teachers in too many different ways, and it is impossible to do that. It is impossible. I would love to see anybody at the administration level go in and for a week, even for a day, deliver instruction and see how effective it's going to be. Deliver instruction where you're having face-to-face students and virtual students at the same time. And let me see how effective you're going to be. It's not going to happen. It's not possible.
And they want to play it down. And they said, okay, you just sit them down and you do the same instruction. But no, you have to be like, wait, don't come over here. Okay, no. Now you're going to log in. Teacher, like my iPad's not responding. Okay, no, wait. Okay, wait, guys over here. I'll be right back. I'll be there and then come back. I mean, it's not that simple.
Exactly.
Not that simple.
Exactly. But in their minds, if you write it down, it seems simple enough. But when you're there, that's not how it's going down. That's not how it's playing out. And that's what they need to see.
Ma'am, I can't log in. Where do I press? And then, no. You can't walk close to me. Stay over there at your area. You have your area over there. Did you sanitize your hands? Hold on, guys. Wait.
Don't take off your mask.
Yes, put your mask back on, guys. You can't be without your mask. You need to go to the bathroom. Hurry up. Go to the bathroom. Really? Meanwhile, on the screen, you have kids and parents looking at you like.
Exactly. Yeah. It's those
are showing up for one student, some teachers.
Yes.
One student.
Absolutely. It's crazy, but we're going to push on that, guys.
What about the socioeconomic demographics of Brownsville and BISD students vary from the different parts of the city, plus the fact the percentage of students who reside in Matamoros? Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. Bad hombre. You are right on that.
Thank you, ladies, for everything you do for us. I made the best choice joining, and thank you for your patience and professionalism with me. Miss Ida and Miss Mary have been so nice and helpful. Makes me feel like fam at AOBE. God bless your heart for fighting for our rights. My boss's admin try so much to keep us safe. Can't complain about them. I do feel safe, but I know school board fails its job, but act like they care. I can say this now because I feel safe with y'all. I can speak my thoughts. Thank you. You're welcome. That's what we're here for.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Yes, we are in our school. Yeah. We've been using Forta for lesson plans since the beginning of the year.
Oh, you have?
Forta is part of Eduphoria. Eduphoria is another platform.
For bilingual.
Okay.
We have Eduphoria. We have Tango Friends. We have Aware. Well, Aware is part of Eduphoria. We have Eduphoria, Tango Trends. I'm looking at my computer because I have it on my dashboard. We have the grading system. We have Clever. We have.
But wait a minute. So I'm confused on this though. So you have been using Forthought since the beginning of the year?
I haven't.
No?
Because it's part of one whole other program, the platform, and it's part of there. Like if you wanna aware one of the como te diré, like buttons that you use, the sides of it, like parts of it.
Okay.
That's
I got you. Because it's part of the Eduphoria, and because of that, that's why it was there at the beginning of the school year. Correct? Okay, gotcha.
All right. We need to do Forthought and Schoology and submit the certificate. We have to submit certificates that we completed and that we passed with hundreds for Schoology.
Y'all are gonna need more wall space for all these certificates. My goodness.
January 19th, we have to have all classes on Schoology already. That's the smooth transition, Ida.
Exactly.
That's the smooth transition, mind you. This whole week has been benchmarking.
Wow, that is crazy.
So there has not been any time to even introduce Schoology to the kids.
We have to submit grades for reading academies because they want us to be at a certain level, at a certain module already. So they wanted us to show proof that we're up onto that module. So they gave us dates. I printed out the dates that, like, I don't know, November 11th, you have to be here, and then on November 30th, and then December 31st, and then January. So they give us like a paper with dates. So by now we had to submit proof that we had done all those modules and we have to submit it to our dean.
Tanya, me mandas ese. Send me those dates, that timeline.
Mhm.
And mind you, part of that timeline was during Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
11/30, yeah. November 30th.
And some of it también during Christmas, no?
Yes. And I'm sorry, but I have a parent who had back surgery, and that was my priority on my days off. So
And you're entitled to. Those are your
I'm not where I'm
days.
supposed to be. Sorry. Forethought online platform is kind of a clickable document, but you can copy and paste from your previous lesson plans. Sorry, Facebook cut me off. Once again, thank you so much. I can comment without the fear of getting in trouble. I have great representatives, AOBE. God bless your work. Thank you, Emilio.
Thank you. God bless you.
Some special education are also attending trainings to become bilingual certified if we pass the state. Oh, there, and then you have that too. The bilingual certification, that there's still teachers that are having to take that training, those classes and all that to take the test as well. That's another one. Thank you, Belen, for reminding us on that. Forethought is preferable by admin because they can use t-test observations.
Okay.
Miss Mary and Miss Ida, y'all rock.
Thank you.
Yes, you do.
Miss Ida, can you please repeat about the 3 days allowed aside from the COVID leave, Robert? Hi, Robert. Mr. Cisneros.
Hi, Robert. The 3 days that you're allowed to get is what they're calling the incubation period. That is if you got exposed at the workplace. Okay. So if somebody puts you on their close contact list, meaning let's say teacher A came out positive, teacher A is required to make a list of who they've been in contact with. Okay. If they put you on there, Robert Cisneros was one of the persons. Okay. They're going to call you in and then they're going to ask you, hey, you've been in close contact with somebody who was positive. How do you feel? Do you want to go get tested? Do you want, you're entitled to your 3 days of leave. Okay. So you get these 3 days of what they call the incubation period. Now, it's your choice to take them, but I would take them. I would definitely take them, and I would definitely go and test just to be on the safe side. Okay. Because from my understanding, because there's so much shortage of staff, they're kind of trying to encourage you to stay. It is your right to be able to take those days. And what upsets me is that, which is what we've been asking for, we have it on the list of the things that we want clarified. We want for there to be clear outlines of how you qualify for these different things. So some administrators won't deny you that right, because you're entitled to take those 3 days. You do not have to work from home. It doesn't matter what your position is, because you got exposed at work. You're entitled to those 3 days. So
I have a question.
Those 3 days do not go into your 10-day COVID leave.
I have a question / scenario.
I love these.
I'm a coach. I'm a coach, one of 4. Most days I do virtual lesson. And then towards the last 15, 20 minutes, I go and help with the face-to-face at every period, which is every 45 minutes. We have a family of 4 that tested positive, all different grade levels, meaning I've been exposed 4 different times, right? Along with the coaches, we've all been exposed. But the other 3 coaches were sent home to quarantine, and I'm being kept on campus, and they're telling me I do not fall under the close contact. Yet I share the same office, same computer, same gym, was with every class for 20 minutes, meaning I had 20 minutes exposure to one of the children, then 20 minutes to the other, then 20 minutes to the other, and 20 minutes to the other. But I'm the only coach on campus, and everybody else has been sent home to quarantine, even though they were negative.
Okay. My recommendation, and I've said it several times, you send an email to your principal or whoever has denied you qualification for that incubation period. Okay. You send an email explaining your situation and why you feel you were exposed. Okay. Once you send that, and if they deny that, then you let us know. Okay. Because that is where we're having the issue of not everybody being on the same page. And I mean, there's some crazy stories that I've heard. And, but because I guess they're not seeing the whole picture and stuff, if this one qualified, this one had to qualify as well. Okay. Because the same exposure was there. So that is where you have to send it in writing, guys. I cannot say it enough. Don't call, don't talk to them in the hall and say, hey, this is my situation, que blah, blah, blah. No, send it in an email. I am requesting my 3-day incubation period because I feel I was exposed because of this, this, and this. And you explain your situation in detail. Okay. If they deny it to you in writing, or if they go and tell you in the hallway or wherever they might see you, or they call you, you respond it still in the email, and then you give us a call or you send it to me. Okay. So we can make sure to try to get this done. Okay. But you always have to request it in writing, because they'll, guys, I cannot tell you. I mean, I don't blame the administration on this, but I've seen so many people washing their hands on different things that have been taking place. So documentation is going to be the only thing that's going to save you and help you to protect you during this time.
Yep. Let's say I already used the 10 days to exposure last year. What if I get sick with the virus now? We get no coverage. That's not good. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
One
correct.
of the board members said that it was too expensive and it was too much, and that the government had only given 10 days, that they were not going to give more than the government. That's what she said.
I believe what board member was that said that? Drew Brown said that. I mean, we're only relaying what took place over there. That is true. It was Drew Brown who said that. And that's not right. Because like I said, there has to be documentation in order to qualify for these things. So it's not like people are making it up that they had COVID twice.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not doing the Reading Academy. I'll do the Reading Academy next year since I teach there. Oh, okay. You do the upper grades. I already messaged a board member. Everything I have to do, I told them that I want to go back to being an aide.
No. We're losing too many teachers. Hang in there, Zudi.
No, you can't. Your kids need you. That's what keeps us going. That's what keeps us going, our kids.
Yes.
But there's many times that we cry and that we have sleepless nights and that but our kids, as soon as they log in with us and they're smiling and hi ma'am, I missed you, whatever, like that just kind of like helps to wipe it away.
And I need to connect every day because Pedrito tells me every day that I'm beautiful.
I
have to connect every day.
I would connect for that too.
Nobody else is beautiful, but I have one little girl who makes my day every day. Every time she signs in, she's like, "Hello, Miss Virgo." You sound like Miss Doubtfire, and she's like, "Who's that?" So I showed her a little clip, and she's like, oh, "I do sound like Miss Doubtfire."
Que Dios te bendiga y que los angelitos te estén alrededor de ti. He always tells me.
Oh my gosh.
Que Dios te bendiga y los angelitos vuelan alrededor de ti. So I connect with that every day. Yes.
That is beautiful. Oh.
We needed to be forethought since day one. We had a meeting at the end of last school year.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's good to know.
Heard many schools are dropping students because lack of attendance. Home visitors are finding fake addresses, making police reports because parents are keeping district laptops.
Oh my goodness.
I heard that happen. Some kids were saying that, I think it was my son that mentioned it, that they were like removing electronic devices because they weren't logging in. And they wanted to drop the students.
Wow. That is interesting.
We are having breakdowns. Yeah, we are. Some of us are. I remember last year, in the beginnings of the pandemic, and Ida is my witness. It was a lot of crying because I had so much anxiety because of the unknown of the district, because of the unknown of the pandemic, because of and then getting all the calls from people and all their concerns and everything they were going through, like it was too much to take, and I was always crying.
Yep.
Thank God that I was able to get past that. And but yeah, we're having breakdowns because we're going through a pandemic, because we're losing our loved ones, because we're struggling to learn a platform that now is not going to be used anymore. Now we have to learn another platform. We're having breakdowns because while we're trying to get our kids to log in and calling and messaging and all that, the district is still blaming us because the kids are not logging in. What do you want me to do? Go sit at their house and turn the computer on? What do you want me to do?
Mm-hmm. We get blamed because they don't connect or because they're failing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's a lot. Forgot to mention that I also teach all day except calendar.
Oh,
I
yeah.
take care of the calendar time.
Chihuahuas.
Yep. One of our colleagues has been fighting for her life in the hospital for 4 weeks. And this is what we're saying.
Yep.
This is what people are going through. We're losing people left and right. And that sounds horrible to say, but there are people dying every single day. And you cannot tell me that you do not know somebody that has lost somebody to COVID. You do not know somebody who has lost somebody to cancer. You do not know somebody that has not lost somebody to heart attacks. That's another one. And I think that has increased also because of the stress level. Then they're stuck taking people are losing their jobs. People are getting their hours cut.
They're going through divorces.
Yes.
Because
that's another thing. Depression.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's just too much. Don't forget elevation monitoring. That's another platform.
Wow.
Plus, we have to remember all these passwords.
Oh God. Oh God.
Notes all over the place.
Oh my God. That is like, wait, is this the one that I have my email or without the email? Is this the one that I use my email or the other password? Is this the one? I'm like, oh my God. So my son had to teach me how to put something on my phone that it can lock, that is like encrypted or whatever. And only I can open it with my thumbprint, because I was like, it's just too much to remember. I can't even remember my bank account passwords anymore because I have so many other passwords. And the other day I was telling my friends, I can't log into Clever. Well, I was putting in the wrong password.
Yeah.
For like, I don't know how many times. And then I was like, oh, stupid, it's the other one.
Yeah. And then you get locked out.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. Yes, all teachers on my campus have been submitting lesson plans on Forethought since August. Wow.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You're welcome, Mr. Cisneros. Let's say my son's school decides to close down a wing of the school because of a positive person, and I, an employee of another campus, am I entitled to the 3 days also since my sons were sent home?
As of right now, you're not. That's what we're trying to push for. As of right now, no, though.
That's still school district involved. It should.
Yep. I agree. And that's what we're trying to get them to see.
And it was at a campus.
Because if you're making me go to work, I have to send my son to school. Therefore, you're making me expose my child. So now my child
exposed at school.
Absolutely.
No.
That's right there on the list of what we want the clarification on. That is right there.
Is it okay to take the 3 days if you were sent to test and get the results in minutes at the wellness center?
Yes. Because remember, you can come out negative and it could be a false negative. So I would take the 3 days. I would be on the safe side. You know, you got to remember, you know, there's a lot of people that are asymptomatic. There's so many different things. Take the 3 days, guys. We got to try to reduce, you know, any type of exposure.
Miss Mary's still waiting for my 1010 stimulus check AOBE. Just a little humor, ma'am. Our president, she does a great job. Just don't know your name, ma'am. Thank you. Veronica Borrego, that's me. Mr. Perez.
And I'm their assistant. I take it.
Actually, Miss Tanya is actually on our AOBE board.
Yes, she's our new. You're amazing, Miss Tanya.
The latest on max
you.
number of students that are allowed in the classroom, according to CDC, I currently have 6.
The latest with, I don't know what is the latest, because I know that it has changed, but I don't think it's lower than 6. With so many things that have been changing, I don't know what is the
Because didn't we get away with the 6 feet because it was impossible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was just a recommendation.
it's a recommendation, and that's the thing.
Isn't the number a recommendation also?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, that they're picking and choosing what they're following from the CDC guidelines. Lo que les conviene. So you got to keep that in mind.
I was not allowed to work from home. I had to take those 3 days off from my sick days, even though my sons were not directly exposed, but they were still sent home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because and that's what we're trying to have them change, because in that situation it is because of the exposure of BISD that you had to be working from home. So we're trying to clarify that for them, to have them change that. So for them to see that the reason you're home, having to stay home, is because of a BISD exposure.
And my children would not have been exposed if I was able to work from home. My students could stay home with me. So it's kind of a domino effect.
Correct.
Then there's the platform for early resignation incentive.
They're pushing that platform.
Big time. TA has its own CDC guidelines, right?
Pretty much. They're also interpreting it how they want to.
They're also interpreting and creating these guidelines from the safety of their own home.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Absolutely.
That's our last comment, Miss Ida.
Wow. Okay. So we're coming up on the 2 hours. I want to see if we can kind of try to end it on a positive note. I know there's a lot going on, and if anybody that wants to contribute, but for us to say what it is that and so maybe we can give other people ideas, but what it is that you're doing to help you get you through this rough time. Okay. So something that helps you when you're feeling down, when you're feeling overwhelmed, and when you're feeling a lot of anxiety. What I do personally, something to help me pass my time or find, some joy in things besides my dog Chico that I did get during the pandemic. I do recommend.
Who convinced you?
You did. I have to hand it to you, and I thank you for that. I know a dog is not maybe for everybody, but it has helped me at times when I feel so overwhelmed and frustrated. I can look at his little innocent little face, even though he might have done the restroom on the floor and not on the pad like he was supposed to, but it'll still make me it'll still make me smile. So that's something that does help me. But also when I think about and pray for other people that are going through the hard times and that are ill or in the hospital, that helps me in a sense to say, you know what, this is nothing what I'm feeling right now. I may be overwhelmed, but and I may have all of this and that or whatever, an anxiety of the unknown, but that's what helps me to get through my rough patches or things like that. So that's what I do to help get through that. So you ladies.
This helps me get through everything right here. Plus my little munchkin that's over there in the other room trying to avoid being on camera. And watching, I have to, when I'm feeling anxiety or something come on, that I know is going to make me laugh. And what's really funny is that my son has caught on to that, so that when he sees me kind of like he's like, she's not having a good day, he comes and he puts Kevin Hart on YouTube because he knows
God.
And he's like, let's watch YouTube, Mama. And he'll put Kevin Hart to kind of like lift my spirits, right? And so he's learning to deal with his own issues too, because it's very hard. He's very active, and so it's very hard for him to not be able to play with his friends and to. So we'll watch silly stuff or whatever, and you just kind of have to find your whatever it is that works for you. My dogs, me being able to pet them and stuff, and me being able. My poor son gets attacked with hugs because I can't hug anybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person that hugs. So I have to attack him with hugs, and sometimes he wants them and sometimes he doesn't. And pues ni modo, you have to take them because you're my kid. I gave birth to you and you're going to take the hug because I said so. Right now.
Oh, but that's good.
Definitely family. Definitely, I try to video call with my brother, my sister, and my mom. She gave me a tutorial how to make buñuelos. So I made buñuelos for the first time.
You need to give us a tutorial on how to make buñuelos next time.
It was funny because I went live on my Facebook while I had her on the computer, a live video. So she was making buñuelos at home while I was making my buñuelos here. So we were doing it at the same time. And I'm going live on Facebook, and my cousin just said this, or this person just said that, and she will respond to that. I do have 2 dogs, Molly and Misty. Molly is a Labrador, and I call her my Molly Terapia.
That's Molly.
As Molly too. Hi, chiquita. So I have my dog. Hi, chiquito. And I have my son. I have a 16-year-old, which he's amazing. He lets me hug him. And I have 2 boys, and they know I'm a hugger. They never turn me away because they do it for me because they know. I hold your family very tight. I watch also TV to get me distracted. I cook. I love to cook. So those little things that you can do and hug your family tight, whoever you can hug, because I don't hug my mom since March. It was her birthday and everything, and we do a lot of video calls. And when I go visit her, which hasn't been so many times, because she can't help it. She wants to go to you. How do you say, Mom? Don't hug me. Don't touch me. Don't come near. She's 72. So, but video calls. We do a lot of video calls. We have to teach her how to do it, and we do that. So definitely, family helps. Whatever helps you, keep you sane. Do that.
Absolutely.
I barbecue. I forgot to say that. I like to barbecue.
Oh yeah, you do. That's right.
These cheeks are not free.
Tortilla de harina acá.
A lot of investment.
Next tutorial, tortillas de harina and gorditas. That's going to be for my mom.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. I'm glad. Okay, well, Vero, there's a few. I think there's one more question. I just want to make sure that we cover all of their questions. Are the 3 days paid or dog? The 3 days, the incubation periods are paid, okay? Because you got exposed at the workplace. The wheel. He wants the wheel.
No, we'll try. We'll try next time.
We will.
Hi. Proud of you, ladies. Stay safe. Thank you, Mr. Vega.
Thank you, Mr. Vega.
Why aren't the schools reporting the correct number of COVID cases of students and faculty?
That's the famous question.
But they did talk about that at the board meeting.
They did talk about the numbers, but the thing is, they gave the numbers, but with the privacy, we don't know which ones fall into that or not. So I hate it that it's one of those things that you need to take them at their word for it of what they're putting out. And to me, they haven't proven to be completely reporting the whole truth. So, that's on them. I hate that they do that, but unfortunately, they're playing the system. They're finding ways to play it. So
ridiculous. Also, one more thing, we did get replenished our PPE at my campus. I don't know about you, Ms. Carrion, you're not on campus, right? We did get replenishment. So for those of you that have not, it's coming. I did mention to my assistant principal when he gave it to me, when it runs out, I'm gonna reach out to him, and then he has the name of whoever he needs to contact to get more.
So because I did say that to ask your administration for it.
Yeah, because they weren't replenishing it, guys. So remember, they were asking for the campuses to pay for it out of their campus budget. So
Yes.
at least now it's getting replenished, and it needs to be replenished more than once per semester. They need to be real.
I was buying my Lysol, and my son used to say, "You're Lysol dealer," because I used to.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I
I
like
actually just bought a 12-pack of Lysol spray from Sam's because it went on sale. It was $60, but it's a 12-pack, and so because you never know.
Isn't that something though? A different type of 12-pack that you buy now.
Yeah.
Now we're like, I got it. I found a 12-pack.
Of Lysol, guys.
Yeah, yes, a 12-pack of
I'm a
Lysol.
dealer.
Where's
Remind
the-
myself.
Yeah, I remind myself
Aw.
I'm still a great teacher, even though the unreasonable demands of today leave you feeling like you're not enough. Teachers used to have time for second jobs to make up for the low pay, and this is this is very, very, very true. We do not even have enough time for our families with everything we have to do. My son will tell me, "Do you have something today? Do you have stuff today? Can we do something today?" That kills me. That breaks my heart. And I'm like, oh, I have to work on this. Oh, I have an art. Or, oh, I have
AOBE meeting. Sorry.
I have an LBE meeting.
I like.
You know who likes to come and harass you, Ida?
I know.
He likes to pick you because he loves you. But yeah, so it is hard, and we don't have time to make a second income, and our income is barely livable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I hear you. I hear you. So I mean, but do know you are each doing an excellent job, guys. I mean, especially with the leadership that we have at the district. Okay, you guys are doing amazing. Okay, because all of these things, these big bumps in the road, and everybody's having them. Unfortunately, some districts have them more than others, but you guys are doing an amazing job, and you all are amazing teachers. Okay, you might not
Thank
feel like it at times, but heck, man, working through this administration, you guys are doing a heck of a job.
So I can
Okay.
email my principal, requested a 3 days incubation because I got exposed by 2 of my students that were tested positive for the COVID today. Student was sick this Tuesday, January 12th.
Yes, please do. Email your principal.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around, for joining us. Thank you for participating in the live chat. Thank you for asking your questions. Thank you for your input. The only way for us to get through this and for us to get better and improve the district is to know that what is going on outside, and we get that information from you. And I love the shirt that Miss Tanya has. We are one.
Yes.
We are one.
We did these T-shirts before. We were super involved with the association. In our school, when they try to close our Longoria, we did like 4 or 5. Like shout out to my friends at Canales in Longoria, because we did say we are one. If we don't stand up for each other, nobody's gonna do it for us.
No.
So that's a message that I also want to give. Like if we all get together, we're a force to be reckoned with.
That's
Yep.
right.
That's right. So just
Wow.
know that UBE is here for you, and we are one with you.
And it just happened to be the same colors. We didn't even plan it.
They had to, Tanya. I thought it was one of ours because that's one of the logos that we've used at different campaigns, and it says "We are one." And I was like, "Oh wow, that's awesome!" But it's so true,
We were there for each other, as we are right now.
and we will continue to be. So thank you, guys.
Everybody have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye. God bless.